Hi everyone. So today we're going to go ahead and get started with talking about the suits. We are going to start with the Ace of Wands, and then we're going to move to the rest of them, the cups, and then the swords, the pentacles. Then I will do. We're going to go one by one. Then we're going to do the courtship cards. Those I'm going to do separate. So today we're just going to be talking about the A's through the 10. Same with all the other ones. We're going to do each one individually. Just because I want to make sure that these are not these are just a little bit easier to read that way. The courtship cards are a little bit different and a little bit more special. So I just want to make sure that we have that taken care of first, that we have these taken care of first, and then we work our way through the cards. I can also, I know I've already done a Major Arcana one, but I can redo one if need be. Just let me know. Otherwise, we can go ahead and get started. I will say, guys, that I did start my own webpage, and I have my page on Facebook, so feel free to like it. I do readings there. I do personal readings there in case you're interested. I normally don't charge too much because I'm just doing them distance right now. But basically I create a little video for you, I post it here, and then it's private, so only you have access to it. I give you the link, and you can just let me know. I also do Reiki, so I'm normally running a little offer there where it's like 10 different Reiki sessions for $10. And we can kind of plan on how and when to do them. I do crystal healing as well, and I do incorporate crystals in my Reiki. You can see I have my little beautiful smoky quartz on this side with peridot and a little jade frog. So I do work a lot with crystals, in case you're wondering, or if you have any questions, let me know. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Ace of Wands first. Wands, basically the suit of Wands is all about that fire that makes you want to start something, right? It's all about that energy that you get. They can be about physical movement, like travel a lot of times too. It's a lot of like that enthusiasm that you get when you want to start something, right? Like you get that fire to want to start doing something new, like a new endeavor. With the Ace of Wands, basically what you get is you get new energy. This is the universe giving you something like that new fire. You like, hey, here's this, start this, right? So it can be a new beginning. You can see the horizon here. It's all a very beautiful card. So it's about new movement, travel, possibly new beginnings, new energy, new action. In terms of career, I would say this is a definite yes. In case you have a yes or no question about career, should I take this job? Yes. It's about new beginnings, right? It's about starting something new. So I would say yes, that's a definite yes. You will have new sense of purpose. You will have new projects. Maybe you're staying in the same job, but you want to know if you should start something, right? A new project. So yes, that is a yes. This is a definite yes. Same with love. This is a yes card. Start a new relationship, start something new. There's rejuvenation in your relationship. There could also be pregnancy involved if there's other fertility cards like the Empress, for example. So this is a yes, right? Next we move to the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, it's about decision making. However, this is not a decision that is stressing you out. This is a decision that you have to make, but it's not a stressful decision. And here you kind of see that he's looking out. Once he's holding on to one, but there's another option here that he can have. He's holding on to what seems like the world, but it's red and yellow. So you kind of know there's like a little bit of passion, there's intuition involved, right? Yellow, it's happiness. Yellow normally represents your intuition too. So there's that, you know what decision to take basically on this one. So the Two of Wands is all about decision making, all about weighing the pros and cons of each decision. It's about physical change, about seeking change. It's about having the courage to make that change. It is a positive card. So I would say on this one, I would say if you have a yes or no question, it is a yes, depending on whether or not the person. So I would post this. I would bring this back to them, turn it back around, and say, it sounds like you already know the answer. So I wouldn't like. It sounds like you already know the answer. It sounds like you already know what you want. So trust your intuition. That's how I would answer a yes or no question on this one. In terms of career, is advancement. Do not procrastinate. Stop procrastinating. Keep moving forward. You have more clarity and you are ready to take on whatever it is that you need to take on. In the case of a relationship, if you're deciding whether or not you should stay or you should go, again, trust your intuition, right? You already know the answer. Is this something that you can work past it? Is this something that you can definitely not get past? So you already know the answer. Three of Wands. You see the beautiful yellow here. He is looking out into the horizon. There's boats around and the water is yellow. Like I said, yellow is happiness. Yellow is what brings you happiness, is your intuition as well. So he's looking out the horizon. This is a kind of like a waiting card. You have to be patient, right? You're looking out, you made your decision, you're looking out into the horizon and waiting to see when one of these will arrive for you. So here, what the tarot is asking you to do is to be patient, is to know that whatever seeds you planted, they're gonna come into fruition. You just have to wait. You have to trust, and you have to know that the universe is supporting you. It is also a travel card, same as this. So if these two come out together, there's possible travel. So it is another travel card. Keep that in mind. Now, in terms of business, in terms of career, be patient. You should probably forge a new path. You should, instead of maybe waiting for something different, if you've tried several things, if you tried several things and nothing's happened, maybe you should start looking into a new path, right? But otherwise, it's just about being patient. It's possible partnerships. So yeah, it's all about that. In terms of love, it could mean that you're traveling towards someone. It doesn't have to be like literal traveling, but maybe like moving forward with a relationship, or like you are literally just driving to their home and telling them how you feel, something like that. So it can be about traveling. You can travel to a different country, a different city. It can just be going to see them. Moving in together is another thing, and then just also moving forward with the relationship. The Four of Wands. This is a definite yes in a yes or no relationship. And I'm sorry, I think I'm hearing probably what sounds like fireworks. Anyway, so this is a very positive card. This is a definite yes and a yes or no question. So it is about creating a foundation. It is about stability. It is about knowing that all your patience is paying off now. All of it. It's gonna pay off. And if you are ever wondering, should I do something, and this comes up, yes, do it. Again, there's a lot of yellow, there's a lot of happiness. You see the 4 holding on to that. It's stable. It could possibly be that you are okay, well, let's get there. But in career, it's a welcoming environment. If you're starting a career or it's changing, the environment is changing to be very welcoming. um, it can be very stable, very positive. You will have a sense of belonging um, in this career. In terms of a relationship, um, it is a very balanced relationship. It is a deep commitment. It can also signify marriage. It can also signify moving in together and starting a home, starting a family. Um, Possibly, I would, I would just say marriage. On this one, like it's possible that there's gonna be marriage, or you're just moving forward, taking the relationship to a new, to a new, eh, to like a higher commitment level. So very positive card. All right, the 5 of Wands. After stability comes chaos, right? And you have to remember, odd numbers are always about change, about chaos, about bringers of change. Not necessarily chaos, but they're bringers of change. And change is always important for a growth. So I want you to keep that in mind. I would say that there's probably really not a bad card in tarot. They're just about how you take it. So remember that it's so cliche, but remember that no pain, no gain. And basically, we grow the most when we're in pain. Not necessarily that this means pain. I'm just going on a tangent. But anyway, the 5 of Wands, it's about change. It's about shifting. It's about instability. Basically, you're here fighting for resources, right? And it doesn't have to be that you fight someone else. It can be your different truths. So you think that you know the truth, but then you're like, oh man, but then this, but then that, but then that, but then that. So it's kind of like you're trapped in your head and all these racing thoughts are coming to you. So it could be that. It could be that you're actually fighting with someone, say like in a career reading. You could also be competing with someone for a position. It also asks you, there could be drama, lots of drama in all aspects, right? And just a general reading and love and career. So it could be that. There could be that there's many agendas around you. You're being pulled apart, basically. Kind of like what I was getting at. You're pulled apart either by people or by your own thoughts. So in terms of a career, I would say this requires maybe distance from everyone, or just be very wary of the people around you. Avoid any conflict. Pick your battles wisely. Um, don't take too much burden, because maybe that's what you're doing. You're just taking on so much, trying to prove something, and you're being pulled apart. So I would say this is a no card. Excuse me, in a yes or no reading, this is definitely a no. When it comes to love, I would say that there might be some conflict. Might not be something that you cannot resolve, but it could. There's obstacles. Maybe you're being pulled apart by too many things, like you have your work and then you're trying to have a relationship, but you're spending too much time at work. So there's all that drama, all that conflict that comes with it, right? So maybe you're spreading yourself too thin, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I would say that if you're thinking of moving forward with something, so like if you're working too much, you're a workaholic, but you really want to go out with someone, I would say maybe considered saying no for the time being. It doesn't mean that you have to completely shut the door, but maybe just you need to bring all your burdens down, because you are going to be spreading too thin, and it's a recipe for disaster, right? So then after the conflict, we have stability again. We have the 6 of Wands. This is a positive card, very positive, and it's a definite yes. I would say with this one is okay to move forward. You are just moving forward. You have achieved victory in whatever drama you were going through. and it is a time to fulfill your goals, right? In terms of career, there's success. You are basically just cruising along, enjoying your work days. And in terms of love, I would say that the effort that you put in, so say you were just too spread too thin and you didn't have time to go out, but you said, you know what, screw it, we're gonna have a date night every month or whatever. You made a commitment and now it's paying off. Now things are resolving. Now things are coming to calm. So now you have reached a part when you have common goals, you have committed, both of you have committed, and both of you are making an effort, right? So it's a good card. It's I would say it's a yes in combination with other cards, of course. 7. In this one is like complete and utter drama. You are like fighting, right? This one, you don't know who you're fighting. Like this one, you kind of see that there's external people, right? There's external form. Even if it's your own thoughts, it's based on external forces. It's based on someone else nagging at you or bringing in the drama. This one, you don't know. And because you don't know on this one, it could be so many things. It could be like on this one that someone else is putting something on you, but now it's your head. It could be your head against you, right? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's similar to the 5. Let's just keep it at that. So on this one though, it's not you against everyone. Or wait, let me say it right. In this one is everyone against everyone. In this one is you against everyone, right? So on this one, you have to hold your ground. You have to know your truth, and you have to know to be yourself. You cannot change. You cannot keep taking in any more burdens from anyone. Like, hold your ground. Be who you're meant to be, right? Be you. Have courage and have the conviction to continue to be you. I would say in career, this is all about competition. It's probably good competition, so maybe someone fighting for the same position as you. So what it's asking you to do here is to be yourself, basically, to show that you are you and that you can do the things that you need to do to succeed on this. And don't give up, that's for sure. In terms of love, I would say that there's challenges, but it's not, don't give up. Like, it's probably that little rough patch, right? But then also, like, in a relationship, make sure that you're setting boundaries, because otherwise, like, hold your ground and don't give up on the relationship, but just make sure that you're setting boundaries, because there has to be boundaries in order for a relationship to work. So that's what I would say on this one. It could be too that someone else is trying to meddle in your relationship or to give your relationship advice, or they can be influencing your relationship. So I would say that go with your gut, right? Because sometimes, honestly, like, there's people around us that can tell us, like, oh, this person's not good for you. Oh, this is how I see things. But they're telling you how they feel and what they see. They're trying to meddle in a relationship that is not theirs, and they don't know how you feel. They're telling you based on what they feel and what they see and what they want. So don't allow anyone else to dictate your relationships. That's basically the message of this one. The next one is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is actually very positive. It's very fast moving. There's a lot of moving forward on this one. This one is also one of those that suggest travels, as you can see. Like, oh, we're going somewhere, right? We're getting somewhere. There's action on this one. Basically, you're like, all these obstacles, you're just like throwing them away. Like, obstacles are being removed. So on this one, it's a very yes as well. Like, you have to move fast and pursue what you want. This is the time to go for what you want, for what you love. If you love traveling, then travel, right? In terms of a career, there's growth. there's movement forward, positive movement forward. And basically, all, like, if you couldn't ask for the raise, now's the time. Basically, it's like you remove all the blockages, right? So it's a definitely yes card. In terms of love, it's very enjoyable relationship. It might mean that you're moving forward again with something, traveling, or maybe the investments are paying off. If you're just starting a new relationship, it might be that it's a very fruitful one and you are really enjoying it. All right, let's see here. Oops, things are flying away. Hang on one sec. Let me pause the video because something just flew away. Alrighty, here is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is, you've already gone through this. You had so much fast movement, you had so much growth, and now you're exhausted, right? Like, look at this guy. He has so much that he's achieved, but he's exhausted. He's tired. What it's telling you here is like, damn it, you've already gone through these many. Keep going. Do not give up. You have what it takes to complete whatever it is your endeavor, right? Whatever it is you're trying to complete. So definitely keep moving forward. And also, it's about letting go of that past. Everything that's happened, everything that's coming, you know, everything that's happened, everything you've learned, take it as with a little bit of a grain of salt. What I mean with that is, the past is the past. You cannot change it. But, and it's also supposed to teach you. It's not supposed to teach you to be resentful, to be fearful, or to just stay stuck, right? To not want to, like, say you were hurt in the past, love wise, and that's what I mean. It's not necessarily to teach you not to act differently, or to not believe, like, say someone lied to you, to not believe anyone anymore, to harvest that resentment. It's not about that. The past is supposed to teach you a lesson in personal growth. It is so hard to understand, but basically what it's teaching you is that if you were lied to, if you were cheated on, if whatever happened, is not a reflection of you. It doesn't mean that you're less. It doesn't mean that you deserved it. It doesn't mean that it was about you. The lie, the cheating, all that is about the person that did it, right? They have to work on their growth. They have to learn who they are and what they need to do. It doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that the pain wasn't there for you. But it means that you have to learn to let go. It means that that person wasn't for you, that you had to have enjoyed, you have beautiful memories from them, even though there was a bad one. But you just have to let it go. Because, for one, it's not a reflection of you. It doesn't mean that you're less. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of love. It just means that it was something that was meant to happen for you to be able to move on and let go of that person. It also means that it's something that needed to happen for you to grow, for you to learn, for you to expand. You have to learn to forgive. You have to learn that you cannot change the past. You have to learn that you cannot control someone. So you just let go and keep moving forward. And I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. Too many spiritual lessons in the tarot. But anyway, it's about letting go and holding your ground. Lastly, we have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, as you can see, most of your even cards are all about positives and blah blah blah. The Ten of Wands is not. It's not necessarily, like I said, there's no negative cards, but the Ten of Wands is actually here to teach you that you're carrying too much, that you have gone through all this crap, and now you have put all the burden on yourself. This one is about possibly just asking for help. Like, there's people around you. There's a possibility that in a career wise, you are working too hard, you are spreading yourself too thin again, and you're not asking for help basically maybe in fear of that they think that you cannot do your job, or you know, you feel like you should be able to. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, and there's nothing wrong with saying, I need help, I cannot do this alone. So that's basically what it is. In terms of relationship, you might be given more than the other person, so it probably is a good idea to just, again, set up boundaries and know where you're standing, and know that a relationship that is one-sided is not going to work. I'm not saying break it off, I'm just saying talking makes a big difference, right? So it might be a no card, unless you're, it might be a no card in case of, especially career wise, unless you're willing to ask for help, or unless you're forming a partnership where you're asking for help and you're having help. So you have to know that the burden has to be spread between everyone, not just you. So that is what I have for the ones. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you learn a lot. You can do personal readings for yourself, right? You just you just basically just draw 3 and do like a love reading, a general reading, or a business reading for yourself. I don't necessarily like to do any reverse cards, just because I feel like even if you just do the upright, you still get the result that you want, right? And a lot of times your message is gonna come off a little more positive than if you do reverse, because sometimes reverse can be like the more extreme version. So like, say with this one, it's like, holy crap, you are like shit, you are like overwhelmed and you are burned out, and you know. So that's all I have to say on that. It's just, you know, I don't like the reverse, but you can definitely learn them. A lot of times it's quite just a more extreme version of it, or like the opposite. If they're a positive card, it would be the opposite. There's a few negative, I don't want like saying negatives, but there's a few cards that are like talking about anxiety and stuff, and if you reverse them, it's the contrary too, but not all. There's only a few. So just be aware of that, and if you're interested in reverse, just let me know, and I will definitely do a reverse section. Otherwise, next up is our cups, so we'll get to talk about cups next. All right, thank you. See you then.